Watch post-fight interviews and unaired prelims only on UFC.com.
I probably lost the first 2 rounds on the judges' scorecards. I wasn't taking a whole lot of damage. He was able to take me down, but I think that I was still doing damage. I think I almost dropped him in the first. He wasn't able to really get anything rolling on the ground, I think that in that third round, I just came out guns blazing and caught him, and I don't think he ever really recovered from that. And then I, really just put the pressure on because I knew I was down probably 2 rounds, and just took it to him. I wasn't, I wasn't too keen on losing a decision.
I feel confident in my ground game as well. I train with some really good jiu-jitsu guys in Vegas, so maybe I got labeled as a striker when I first come into the UFC, but I always worked a lot on my ground game, and I felt very confident in my ground game. I felt I definitely had to be cautious with him, but I felt like I was the better fighter in all aspects, and I think I proved that tonight.
Going into the third, my corner, they weren't talking about whether I won rounds, whether I lost rounds. They just said, you got to go out there and, go to war. Greg Jackson just told me go to war. And, I went out and Rory started swinging. I started swinging. I ended up catching him with a good shot. And, like I said, he never really recovered. And I was able to implement my top game and, really do a lot of damage with the elbows and the standing to ground punches.
Yeah, I was really happy about beating him. He was ranked real high, and that's the guys I want to fight. I want to fight the guys that's ranked high, and welterweight, makes me move up the ladder and continue to get closer to a title shot eventually. He's definitely tough. I wanted to finish that fight so bad. I was squeezing on his neck so hard in those last seconds, but he was really good at getting off his back and getting up on his side, so I couldn't, on that side choke, I want to get him flat on his back, but he's tough, man. He was strong.
For me, the fight tonight is bittersweet. In one aspect, I got my first W in the UFC, and it was a kind of fight that I really had to dig deep. I had a feeling that Gilbert was going to train hard for this fight. He's kind of a guy that has shown, maybe not so tough for showing weaknesses and things, and the guy obviously was extremely tough and took a lot of elbows. And, it's not a victory for me, though, in a sense. I got some lumps on my head, but the hardest part is, and I'm not sure, but I get the feeling that Dana and the fans maybe weren't so happy with the fight. I didn't finish the fight, and that to me is unacceptable. I go out to finish my fights, and I had to fight smart because he's a dangerous guy, and this is the kind of fight that I made a vow, and I will go home and continue my training immediately. And next time I'm back, you're going to see an improved Ben. I'm not happy with a lot of things that happened in the fight, and I'm going to correct it. And that's it.
Watch post-fight interviews and unaired prelims only on UFC.com.